Nowadays, if you would like to keep in contact with people, a lot of people will have cell phones with expensive data plans. In some instances, you have a cell phone or a PDA that is tethered to a. It's still on a contract, but it's tethered to a data-only plan. In other words, all you have is data. The only you would end up being charged for voice, right? Well, there are two devices on the market that I really like. One of them is the Peak email device. It kind of looks like a BlackBerry, but it's not. There's no trackball or anything, and it's specifically designed for email. And then this is the Zip-It Wireless. The Zip-It Wireless is designed specifically for instant messaging, although I've heard that it does have email support. The trouble with these devices is with the Zip-It, you're stuck with a wireless network. And with the Peak, you have to pay, Peak, what was it, $15 a month to use their service, which is not a bad deal if, basically, an average consumer might not know the difference, but for somebody who's tech savvy like myself, I looked into it. They are using T-Mobile's network, and it's a GSM network. The SIM card's actually, I wouldn't say that it's sealed inside the device. It's not like soldered onto the board or anything, but they basically got it clipped in there, and then the back is on in such a way that you cannot remove it easily and get to that SIM card. Basically, it's impossible to do. And it's because of these devices that I thought, why don't we combine the instant messaging of the Zip-It with the email of the Peak into a single device, but we do more than that. We basically develop a device that is cell network agnostic. And what that means is you can sign up for a data plan if you want one, but you're not tied to a specific carrier. And to compensate for this, you would have a data plan from a cell provider of your choice. And how would you know, wait a moment, does this do GSM, does it do CDMA? Well, at this point, what I'm looking at is a device that that will have Wi-Fi, GSM, CDMA, but will also have LTE in the future along with WiMax. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. And I do mean everything. So again, Wi-Fi, GSM, CDMA, LTE, and WiMax. Every single network will support at least one of these protocols. And the idea here is you have, let's say you like Verizon. Okay, it has a CDMA radio, so you can go with Verizon, pay $30 a month for the data. What about, wait a moment, I have a cell phone and I need to pay $60, $70 a month extra for voice or whatever it is, however they do it. And how do we get around that? Well, for those of you who are not familiar with it, Skype, SKYPE, which is owned by eBay, is a free internet telephony system that allows you to make calls to fellow Skype users. But it does more than that. For an additional, I'd say $10 a month for unlimited service, you can get what is called a Skype out number, as well as a Skype in number, and you can make calls to regular phone lines. And this is how we would do it. Essentially, this network agnostic mobile internet device would come with Skype pre-installed, and you could pay, say, again, we'll use Verizon in the example, $30 for their unlimited data plan plus $10 to Skype for unlimited calling. That means you get $40 a month for unlimited everything, and again, it's built in such a way where if you want to switch from CDMA to GSM, you don't have to get a new device because every possible connectivity radio is in this device. And so that's the story with this mobile internet device. And what is it going to look like? Well, or I should say, what would I like? What do I want it to look like? Again, this is just a concept. This is just an idea, but I do have an idea for what I would like this device to look like. And that would be the Zip-It Wireless. I absolutely love this form factor. The major drawback for the Zip-It for me was the tethering to Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi hotspots, free Wi-Fi hotspots are getting scarce. Okay, on my travels this past summer, in all the airports I visited, there was not a single free Wi-Fi hotspot, and those that looked to be free were not working properly. So that's the problem with this. With the Zip-It, you're tethered to Peak's service, but under the hood, it's T-Mobile's network. And from what I've heard of the Big Four, T-Mobile is the worst. Again, this is just what I've heard. So basically, you take those limitations, put the two devices together into something that may look like this. Again, this is only an idea. And add on true openness. This would run Linux. It would run the 2.6 embedded kernel of Linux, and it would be completely open to customize as you see fit. But it would also contain, as I said earlier, LTE. It would contain LTE, CDMA, GSM, WiMax, Wi-Fi. That's pretty much all the possible data coverage, data possibilities, so that if you know for a fact that you're going to be in Wi-Fi all the time and you don't want to spend the data plan, you don't have to. On the other hand, if you're on AT&T and you like, you have a cell phone with AT&T, but you don't want to take out the data plan, you could just, take out a separate plan for this device. Or, I'm sorry, that was a bad example. I take that back. I apologize. I take that back. Okay, bad example. All right. So, but you get the idea. You're on AT&T. You have their network, and all of a sudden you get tired of them. You want to move to Sprint. Well, you can do that because, again, WiMax, you're able to do that. And because it's embedded Linux, you can go ahead and do whatever you want with the device if you have the know-how. But that's pretty much my idea. A network agnostic, communications ready mobile internet device on all levels that, I don't think there's a need that it would not address. And this includes, by the way, accessibility, because with embedded Linux as the kernel, you can go ahead and compile accessibility for it. The level star icon has proven that this can be done. So you can go ahead and program accessibility right into the machine. So again, this is only an idea. This is just a thought. I'd like to hear your comments on it. Insults against me will get you blocked. I do apologize for the poor AT&T example. I was speaking impromptu, and again, I do apologize. Bad example, and I do take that back. So, thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice evening.